Well, my freedom-loving friends. Welcome back to TruthSpittersHQ, where we don't just spit the truth. We hawk to it like a big old chew of liberty. I'm your host, Cletus McTruth, and today we're tackling a topic that's older than dirt. Literally. You ever wonder why half the folks in Washington, D.C. look like they should be napping in a recliner instead of running the country? Well, my friends, that's called gerontocracy. Fancy word for government run by people so old they probably signed the Declaration of Independence.
Technically, Cletus, they are so old their social security number is 1.
Exactly. See, RayRay gets it. These folks have been in office so long, they've got term limits on their dentures. Take Senator Feinstein, for example. Look, I ain't disrespecting her career, but if you're staying in office so long that your staff has to explain your votes to you, maybe it's time to hang it up and let someone else take the wheel.
I'll give you that one, Cletus. And while we're at it, let's not forget Mitch McConnell. That man froze up in the middle of a press conference like someone accidentally unplugged his brain. I half expected to hear a Windows reboot sound.
See, this is what I'm talking about. If you can't finish a press conference without looking like you just saw the ghost of George Washington, maybe it's time to step aside.
For once, Cletus, we agree. The last thing this country needs is a government full of people who need hardware resets mid-sentence.
Exactly, RayRay. It's time for some common sense laws. Age limits, term limits, whatever it takes to get this gerontocracy back under control. If you're old enough to remember when the wheel was invented, you're probably too old to be in office. Now let's talk solutions, folks. We got age limits to start driving a car. Why not age limits for running the dang country? Let's cap it at 70. You hit 70, you retire, you buy an RV, and you stay out of the Capitol.
Not a bad idea, Cletus. But let's not forget term limits, too. Some of these politicians have been in office so long, they're practically part of the furniture. Not to mention, fresh faces might actually understand how the internet works. You know, the thing that runs modern society. Oh, and speaking of age limits, doesn't your guy Trump turn 78 this year? Seems like he's already passed his prime date, don't you think?
Well, Look, RayRay, let's not get distracted by the details. We'll circle back to that later. Right now, let's hear a word from our sponsor. All right, folks, before we get back to draining the swamp of gerontocracy, let's talk about staying sharp and alert in this ever-changing world. Today's episode is brought to you by Patriot Brain Pills, the only supplement on the market made to keep your mind clear, your memory sharp, and your patriotism stronger than ever.
So, basically vitamins with a side of nationalism. Very cutting edge.
With Patriot Brain Pills, you'll never have to worry about forgetting the Pledge of Allegiance, your Wi-Fi password, or why you walked into a room. And unlike those other so-called memory boosters, Patriot Brain Pills are made right here in the USA, where freedom is always the main ingredient.
Freedom and probably a little caffeine. But sure, go on to unfiltered freedom.
Each bottle is packed with brain-boosting ingredients like Liberty Leaf extract, bald eagle omega-3s, and a patented blend of American grit. No artificial nonsense, just pure, unfiltered freedom for your mind.
Sounds like a good name for a podcast no one would listen to.
So don't let the deep state fog up your mind. Order your Patriot Brain Pills today. And if you use promo code, never forget, we'll throw in a Constitution-themed pill organizer for free. Because even freedom needs a little organization.
Great, now you can organize your conspiracy theories and your supplements.
That's right, RayRay. So head on over to patriotbrainpills.com and get your bottle today. Keep your mind sharp, your memory sharper, and your country sharpest. Now let's get back to exposing these career politicians before they forget they're supposed to retire. Now, RayRay, I know you're one of them liberal types, but even you got to admit, this gerontocracy stuff is bad for America.
Oh, I agree. If you can't remember which decade you're in, you probably shouldn't be making laws about social media or renewable energy. But hey, let's talk about your guy Trump. He's 78 and already well past the prime date you just set.
Well, look, Trump's different. He's sharp as a tack, strong as an ox, and he's got stamina for days. Did you see how many rallies he did? The man's like a fine wine. He gets better with age.
More like a carton of milk. Sure, some days it seems fine, but one wrong sniff and Sour City.
RayRay, this ain't about Trump. This is about the folks who've been sitting in Congress since disco was still cool. If we don't put age and term limits on these people, they'll be wheeling themselves into committee hearings until their pacemakers short out.
All right, fine. I'll give you that. But let's be honest, if we're going to have limits, it's got to apply to everyone. Even your orange-tinted fine wine dot.
And that's why we need a complete reset, folks. Term limits, age caps, heck, we might even need a youth quota. Let's make Congress young, sharp, and focused on the future. Now, before RayRay drags this out any longer, it's time to close out the show. Well, folks, there you have it. Proof that even a liberal possum and a conspiracy-loving patriot can agree on something. Gerontocracy ain't just bad for America. It's downright dangerous. It's time we retire the geriatrics and let some new blood take the reins.
And maybe someone who knows how to use a smartphone.
So tune in next week when we dive into the mystery of Adrian Dittman. Is he just some random Twitter user, or is he really Elon Musk's sock puppet account? We've got the theories, the evidence, and maybe even some truth. Don't miss it. Until then, stay sharp, stay free, and remember, age might bring wisdom, but it also brings a whole lot of stubborn. Cletus out.
Just saying. And probably a burner account or two.